What's up, guys? Joshua Stuckey here, and we're starting again with a Bible story in 5 or 6 minutes. And we only got 5 or 6 minutes, so let's dive right in. So today we are going to be talking about Elijah and his famous battle in the Bible with the prophets of Baal, or Baal. See, he's a pagan god. I don't actually know the name, like how to pronounce it. It's either Baal or Baal, spelled B-A-A-L. Just tell us in the comments what you think. We might find something new today. So we're going to be looking at when Elijah was scared. You see, Elijah was alive in a very hard time for the prophets of Israel. Prophets were outlawed, and they'd be put to death. Prophets of the Lord would be put to death, and they were really just scared for their lives. Have you ever experienced some sort of fear in your life? I mean, this is nowhere near the same of being scared for being put to death by an evil queen or king in Israel. But I remember when I was younger, I went to Destin, Florida. You see, I love the beach, and I had never been parasailing in my life. That's where you go up in this giant parachute, and you see this incredible view of the ocean, of the buildings on the side, and it's awesome. But you go out on this boat, and then you're lifted up into the air by these air currents. And I remember getting so scared because on your way down, they let you graze the water just a little bit, so your bottom just goes a little bit into the water. And I was with my uncle, and he had to hold on to me because I was so scared that a shark would come out of nowhere and just snatch the both of us up right then and there. And see, I'd also just watched Shark Week. Horrible idea if you watch Shark Week at the beach because you get a lot of scared, a lot of fear. It's just a horrible idea. I would not recommend it because I love sharks, but it's a really bad time. So that's one moment that I was really, really scared. Now, as we get back to Elijah, prophets have been outlawed. They are worshiping these pagan gods of weather. So this one, for example, was Baal. And the Lord came to Elijah and he said, "Go to the queen Jezebel." You see, she was this wicked queen of Israel. She was the one who was responsible for hunting all the prophets in Israel. So Elijah, being scared, but knowing that God was with him, went to Jezebel. And what he wanted to do was to prove that God was the true God, that the Lord, our God, was the true God of the universe, the one in control. So he demanded that they do a sacrifice of a bull. This was the common way that they would worship in Israel. You know, we don't really see that a lot now in our time period, but back then that's how they would do sacrifices, and they would worship the Lord by giving him offerings of, meat, bull, anything like that. So they give an offering, but they have to light the offering on fire. So the test is, whichever God can light this bull on fire is the true God, and that's who they'll follow. Now, Elijah tells, you prophets of Baal or Baal, go first. You guys, since you have 450 of you with you and just one of me, you guys can do it, obviously. Now, you see, Elijah's kind of being taunting. And I totally identify with that because kind of a smart aleck, and to me, I find it hilarious. So these prophets are just dancing around all day. Just going in circles, chanting around this bull, calling for fire, calling Baal's name down onto this bull, saying, "Rain down fire, show who is boss, show that you are in control." Nothing happens. They do this the entire day, nothing happens. So then it's Elijah's turn. Now Elijah is very, very confident because he knows that God is in control, that God has his back. So he tells the people, douse this bull in water, 4 jars of water. Now let me remind you too, Israel was going through a drought at this time period. So water was a very precious commodity. So this shows that Elijah is putting all cards on the table. He's like, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this right now. We are gonna show who God is. So then after the 4 jars of water are placed onto this bowl, Elijah says this prayer, "Lord God, show us your power. Show us that you are in control." And what happens is fire rains down from the heavens, just covers this bowl. Everything is burning up. After, even if it's covered in water, it's crazy. Elijah showed that God always has our back. So a little bit after this, Jezebel is furious. She demands Elijah's head. She's like, all right, I'm done with this guy. We're done with him. Let's just end him right here. So Elijah goes and hides. You see, after this big moment of God showing his love, Elijah still runs. And that's what I want to say. It's perfectly okay to be scared. Even in big moments when we know God is with us, we can still be scared. And even during these times of uncertainty that we have right now, we just know that God is with us and that God always loves us. He loves each and every one of us for who we are. So back to the parasailing story. We get in, get through the water. No sharks came up. I'm obviously here today. God had my back. I know that's a really simple way to say it, but God always has our back. So the next time that you guys are feeling a little scared about something, whether it's this next big test that you have in social studies or math class, or a big track meet that you have, remember that God is always there for us, that his love is always there, and that he loves us unconditionally. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.